Did it work?
Live video is starting. We're waiting. Now, yes. We are here. Okay.
Well, folks, we lost our internet connection.
We're only a minute off, though, I think, according to your little clock says 1:02.
So we're 3 minutes off because it's slow.
You said slow,
yeah,
not
it's
fast.
slow this time
I see.
because of the time change and everything. Howdy, folks. Here we are. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Well, yes.
We lost our internet connection. And
yes, but you masterfully fixed things.
Yeah. I was ready to push the button, and it's where'd Facebook go?
I know.
So I had to reset everything, which I did in what for me is a personal best time.
I think, yes.
So, let me
donning the pics.
Get my pics on, which I can't play without, and I can't type with. So,
yeah. Oops.
Anyway, now we're at long last
Ziggy
ready.
is with us.
Hello, Ziggy.
Hi, George and
How
Lynn.
are you?
Greetings again from Germany. Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Welcome, welcome.
Great to see you, Ziggy. Yes, indeed. So glad you could join us today.
Long trek from Germany.
That's right. Oh, goodness. What a day it has been. It's really cold down here down here. I mean, it's not really that cold, but
it really is, though.
All the natives have their big, heavy coats on and everything, you know.
I had my big, heavy coat on earlier. Actually, our warmest, our high for the day was early this morning.
Yep. That's right.
And temperature's been dropping ever since.
Indeed. I was out in my shirt sleeves here a little while ago taking Indy out. Anyway, I guess we'll have to, we'll start.
Yes.
This show is called More Forever Friends. And when I made the Forever Friends CD, I had a whole bunch of songs. You know, I had many songs on the list of possibles to do. Had I known there was more room on the CD, I would have tried for more cuts, but I didn't. So it is what it is. But I found that list. I don't know, a couple weeks before Halloween, and I said, you know, I bet I could learn enough of these. So what it is, the show's called More Forever Friends, and it is some of the songs that I liked but didn't make the cut for the CD. So I hope you'll like them. There's big dogs and little dogs and happy dogs and sad dogs and stray dogs and pound puppies and hound dogs and faithful German shepherds and all kind of dogs in the kennel today.
I got a couple comments.
Oh, good.
Brenda, Bob and Brenda.
Hey, Bob, Brenda, how are you?
Suffolk, UK, tuned in, looking forward to your show. And Ziggy said, yeah, I'm glad too that I'm at home on a Saturday evening with your show.
Yes, indeed. And hope to see you later at Libby's. Okay. So we'll start out with something a little bit lighthearted that I have done on the show before. This is was written by C.W. Kalb and performed by Ray Stevens. And it's called The Dog's Song. No, it's not. It's called The Higher Education of Old Blue.
There you go.
And this was written by C.W. Cowell, so I got that much right. Well, my daddy was a backwoods self-made type, never went to school, couldn't read or write, but he made a fortune selling hogs and was suspicious of education. So when I told him I was going off to school, he said, well, you'll just become some citified fool. Don't expect no help from me, son, and no financial remuneration. Well, my dad was tight, but he loved his dogs, that's true. And his favorite of the pack was called Old Blue. So I called my dad when I got to college. I said, Dad, I know you don't think too much of human knowledge, but they got a course down here where they can teach dogs to speak. I don't mean speak like bark for a bone. No, they say these dogs can carry on an intelligent conversation. Some even go on to teach. When I heard of that course, of course, I thought of you. And how great it'd be for you to sit and talk to Old Blue. Well, the line went silent, and I thought all was lost, and he finally spoke up and said, what's that cost? I said, Pop, it's a bargain at $5,000 per semester. Well, he didn't balk and he didn't complain, and Blue showed up on the very next train, and that's how my dad became the proud investor in the higher education of Old Blue. A story that if it's not, it ought to be true, about a fiscal windfall situation of my very own creation, the inspiration that I call the education of Old Blue. And the money just rolled in. 8 semesters, $40,000. Woo! All too soon, time to graduate. The day had come that I'd come to hate. The day I had to go home and face my dad. I got off of the train. He said, where's Old Blue? Come here, boy, I want to talk to you. I swallowed hard and said, Pop, I got some news and I'm afraid it's bad. See, coming home on the train, Blue was smoking his pipe and reading the New York Times. And he took off his glasses and he said to me, are you aware of your daddy's crimes? Well, he's a mass murderer, just ask any hog, and he treated my mama just like a dog, rubbed my nose in stuff you wouldn't believe, made me sleep on the hard, cold ground. But I can talk now, and his days are through, 'cause I'm gonna tell your mama a thing or two about his secret drinking habit. Yeah, and his affair with the widow Brown. When I heard Blue say those things, Pop, something snapped inside my brain. And I grabbed him up and I strangled him. And I threw him off the train. Well, he looked at me with his eyes ablaze and his face contorted like somebody crazed. And it didn't look like he believed a word I'd said. Then he grabbed my coat and he pulled me real close. He said, boy, there's just one thing I want to know. Are you real sure that no-good lying flea bag is dead? And that's the story of the higher education of Old Blue. A story that if it's not, it ought to be true. About a fiscal windfall situation of my very own creation. The inspiration that I call the education of Old Blue. The inspiration that I call the education of Old Blue.
Ah, yes. I have a comment from Stan.
Hello,
from
Stan.
Stan
Sandy?
and Sandy in a rather snowy Northwest Ohio today. I heard you guys got a little snow.
Oh, dear. How much have you got?
Yeah, Nan said she's near Dayton and Fairborn, and she said they were getting some. And Laura Hardin is here. I am
Hello, Laura.
listening for now until my friends show up. Then I may watch some more later.
Oh, do that.
Yes.
Enjoy your visit with your friends, and I'm glad you dropped in this afternoon.
Welcome. And welcome Libby Kahn.
Hello, Libby.
Hello from Melbourne, Florida. Hello, Libby.
Wow, I hope you didn't have too much trouble because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
But it's great to see you.
Yes.
It
yes.
really is. We're doing songs about dogs that didn't make the CD, and you've only missed one of them. We will go a few minutes over because we were a few minutes late. We lost our internet connection, and Facebook dumped our settings for the show, and I had to put
right
them all
at the
back.
last minute.
Yeah.
So like, what? What?
All right. In 1925, Anchorage, Alaska was hit by a diphtheria epidemic. They didn't have any antibiotics back then, so they couldn't cure it, but they did have a vaccine for it. That technology was in its infancy also. But there wasn't any on hand in Nome. The nearest source of diphtheria vaccine was Anchorage, Alaska. Well, they did have radios, of course, and they were able to contact some outposts all along a trail that went through a mining town, which is a ghost town now, called Iditarod. And every 100 miles or so, no, every 50 miles or so, they had another dog team and sled ready to go. So the idea was the first musher would carry the vaccine to the next one, and he'd stop there then and rest his team and go back. And the next person and musher would take it the next 50 miles. Wow. And by doing that, they expected to, really, that's the only and fastest way they could get the vaccine to Nome. Well, of course, time marches on, and most of those mushers are gone now. People have snowmobiles and other more modern ways of getting around. And the art of mushing and all the skills that went with it were rapidly being lost. So about 45 years ago, they decided to run a sled dog race in commemoration of that dash from Anchorage to Nome. Well, to go back just a little bit, they got to the last station before Nome, and somehow those folks didn't get the word, and there wasn't a team ready to run the last 50 miles to Nome. So a sled team led by a dog named Balto did 100 miles. They did 2 stretches, and they got the vaccine in there in time to vaccinate most everybody and prevent an epidemic that would have probably wiped out the whole town. So this sled dog race is in commemoration of that dash made by all those mushers and the last 2 runs made by Balto and his comrades there. He was the lead dog. So there's a guy up in Alaska by the name of Hobo Jim. He's a troubadour and a songwriter and all of those things. And he wrote a song about the race. And he sings it every year at the victory banquet that they have. Oh, goodness, Indy.
That was Sadie.
Was it Sadie?
Yes.
Okay. So here is a song called The Iditarod Trail. Way up in Alaska, the state that stands alone, there's a dog race run from Anchorage into Nome. It's a grueling race with a lightning pace where the chilly winds do wail. 'Neath the northern lights across the snow and the ice, and it's called the Iditarod Trail. Give me a team and a good lead dog and a sled that's built so fine. Let me race those miles to Nome, 1049. Then when I get back to my home, I can tell my tale. I did the Iditarod Trail. Now the race, it won't be easy for the masters of the trail, and some of them will make it and some of them will fail. But just to run that race takes a tough and a hardy breed, and a lot of work done by the dogs that run through the snow at a whistling speed. Give me a team and a good lead dog and a sled that's built so fine. Let me race those miles to Nome, 1049. And when I get back to my home, then I can tell my tale. I did the Iditarod Trail. I just pulled out of safety on trail and all alone. We're doing fine and making up time and running on into Nome. There's no sled tracks in front of me and no one's on my tail. I did the Iditarod Trail. I did the Iditarod Trail.
I love that thing.
Yeah.
Stan Johnson said, just warm enough to melt on the ground in response to
Oh, good, yeah.
that. So, and Libby said, good to see you, Lynn. So good to see you.
Yeah, Lynn's evenings have kind of gotten filled up with other obligations.
Yes, well, things that some artwork and things I've been working on in the evenings.
Here is a song called I Wish Dogs Could Live Forever. And it was written by Neil Thrasher and John Kelly Lovelace. And it was sung by Tyler Farr. Wherever she and I went, he'd want to ride. He loved the wind in his face, hanging out the passenger's side, right next to her, 'cause he loved her too. Thank God I had him to get me through, yeah, he pulled me through. I wish love wasn't so hard. I wish people could stay together. I wish girls couldn't break hearts. Dogs could live forever. He was there that night, I drank myself to sleep. He laid there on the floor by the couch right next to me till the sun came up. It was like he knew. He stuck by me like a friend would do, like best friends do. I wish love wasn't so hard. I wish people could stay together. I wish girls couldn't break hearts, and dogs could live forever. I'd like to think I'll see him again one day. If it was up to me, if I had my way. I wish dogs could live forever. Yeah, I wish dogs could live forever. I wish love wasn't so hard. I wish people could stay together. I wish girls couldn't break hearts, and dogs could live forever.
Wow. Laura Harden said, "Do you know My Name is Sam?"
My name is Sam. No, I don't. But if you will tune in on the 26th of November, I will know it by then. And I will do it at the beginning of the show. I usually do requests, then. And I would be delighted to learn that and play it for you. I don't think I may have heard it before, but I don't. It doesn't come immediately to mind.
And I had a comment from Howard Solomon.
Hey, Howard.
And he said, "Nice to hear the history of Iditarod."
Yeah.
And Lois Conklin.
Hello,
is
Lois.
Here. Hi, Lois. And she said, "Just tuned in. Love this tribute. I lived in Fairbanks, Alaska some years ago. We joined in the interest of events in that North country. Loved watching that race from the TV. Great memories."
Yeah.
And Lara said, "Thank you."
Oh, you're welcome.
Check where your microphone is next. See, I think it's out of whack from where it was supposed to be, and I don't know what happened to
I don't know
us.
how that happened. I think it should be back there, don't you?
Yeah, a little closer to you, and I hope that didn't disturb
No,
things.
that's all right.
We got in a hurry on the setup. I don't have all of your harps showing. I got your hands, but it's just one. Oh well.
If you want to get up and fiddle with that, that's fine.
Well,
if you,
I want the whole harp. Let me see if I can. You go ahead. And I'll see what I can do.
y'all, Howard Solomon's got a group called Harp and Howard, and he posts some pretty doggone good tunes on there. If you like this kind of thing, give Howard's group Harp and Howard a look out there. Let's see, where are we
I
here?
think that's better if I didn't make it crooked.
Okay, well, let's try not to worry too much about it.
Now your harp can be seen.
Okay.
That's better. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. And it's still straight. I don't know how I did that.
Because you're getting good. That's all.
Well, I was off mic. I didn't get great at it. Hey, Pat's with us here. Pat Byrne.
Hello, Pat,
Hi,
from
George and
Ireland.
wife. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Pat.
Welcome.
This next song I've done on a show before, I at least once. It was written and recorded by Emmylou Harris, and it's called Big Black Dog. A big black dog, a little too much gray around the muzzle. A big black dog, why she ended up at the pound is a puzzle. A big black dog. Did she run away because somebody didn't treat her right? Did they leave her out in the cold night after lonely night? A big black dog, a big black dog. I found her one day down there at the metro, a big black dog, waiting in a cage in line for the death row. A big black dog. Did somebody put her out on the road and did just not care? Did they think an old dog was too much trouble for them to bear? A big black dog. Her name is Bella, Bella. You're not brown, you're not yellow, Bella, Bella, my big black dog. Big black dogs, they're everywhere, looking for a home, they're hungry and scared. All they need is food and attention, they'll give you back love, sometimes redemption, I'll swear. You could find it there. In a big black dog, a big black dog. She may be a little rough around the edges, a big black dog. When you throw a ball, she'll always go and fetch it, a big black dog. with a brand new leash and a brand new collar. It's a brand new game. I love to see the way she runs to me when I holler out her name. My big black dog. Her name is Bella, Bella. You're not brown, you're not yellow, Bella, Bella. My big black dog, my big black dog.
Wow. Pat said, "Did you get what I sent you?" And then I have a comment from Libby that says, "Big Black Dog is just too sad a song. I've heard that people avoid getting big black dogs."
They do. I know that because they think they're all mean and stuff. But I have two great big black dogs.
Yes, you do.
I really do. We started calling them the Lab Brigade now.
Yes.
They're and Indy over the last time, well, since the last time we all met together here on Facebook, has really turned some major corners. He's starting to stick with me instead of running around the house picking everything up and handling it with his teeth and tongue.
Watching you, wondering where you are if you're not in sight.
He's started to really focus on me.
Absolutely.
And he's making a lot less mistakes out on routes.
It's like things are beginning to click for him
yeah.
in ways that they hadn't. He had
it's-
to get acclimated, I believe is the word.
Yep.
I have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Pat, I saw that you sent me a message, but because of the limitations of my software, it's next to impossible for me to read messages. I'm sorry. I'll try to get somebody to look at it.
We'll look at it.
I did get a notification that you sent it, but I can't read messages yet. And I don't have a whole lot of time right now to work on it because every spare minute is involved with the
dog.
With the dog. And Indy, I've started letting him out of his kennel when I've been practicing and everything. And this is the first show, for the first time, he is loose and laying on the floor somewhere.
No, he went back in.
Did he go back in his crate?
He went in his crate, but the
Okay.
door is open.
Yeah,
but he just went in
He can come
there.
out. A couple times he came over here and laid on my feet, which is okay when I'm singing a song I know, but it's not okay when I'm having to use the foot pedal for lyrics. But yeah, he is really. We're starting to get really comfortable together. He is not doing the goofball things that he was doing at first. We're into our 4th month together, and it usually takes 5 or 6 months for a guide dog team to completely gel. I think we're going to be early because he's just doing a really good job.
I have a comment from Terry Linder.
Oh, okay.
Hello,
hey,
my
Terry.
2 lovely friends, and she put 2 hearts and 4 puppy paw prints.
Oh, thank you.
Great song, George. And Ziggy said, let's see here. I have a couple of things here. Ziggy said, sound a bit like Jimmy Dean's Big Bad John.
Yeah.
And Pat said, no problem. And Bob Hale said, we are getting a puppy dachshund in 3 weeks' time. Reggie is his name. He's now 5 weeks old and so adorable. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah,
That is so
congratulations.
wonderful. And
Yeah, that's great.
Pat said it's a very old auto harp, is what he must have been talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll
look at it.
Lynn will try to help me
Yes, I'll help
read
you
that.
to that.
This next song was written and recorded by Grandpa Jones. I used to play it a lot, but I've never played it on the show. Rattler was a good old dog, blind as he could be. But every night at supper time, I believe that dog could see. Here, Rattler, yeah, yeah, here, Rattler, here. Call old Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here. Rattler treed the other night, I thought he treed a coon. When I come to find it out, he was barking at the moon. Here, Rattler, yeah, yeah, here, Rattler, here. Call a Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here. Grandma had a yeller hen, we set her as you know. We set her on 3 buzzard eggs, she hatched out 1 old crow. Here, Rattler, yeah, yeah, here, Rattler, here. Call a Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here. Grandpa had a muley cow, she's muley since she's born. It took a jaybird 40 years to fly from horn to horn. Here, Rattler, yeah, yeah, here, Rattler, here. Call a Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here. Now if I had a needle and thread as fine as I could sew, I'd sew my sweetheart to my back and down the road I'd go. Here, Rattler, yeah, yeah, here, Rattler, yeah. Call a Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here. Old Rattler was a smart old dog, even though he was blind. He wouldn't hurt one single thing because he was so kind. One night I saw a big fat coon climbing up in a tree. Called Rattler right away to get him down for me. But Rattler wouldn't do it because he liked that coon. I saw him walking paw in a paw later by the light of the moon. Here, Rattler, yeah, yeah, here, Rattler, here. Call a Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here. Now old Rattler's dead and gone like all the good dogs do. You better not ask the dog yourself or you'll be going there too. Here, Rattler, yeah, yeah, here, Rattler, yeah. Call Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here. Here, Rattler, yeah, here, Rattler, yeah. Call Rattler from the barn, here, Rattler, here.
What you trying to do, Lulu? She's coming up on my other side here.
Lulu, what you doing?
Here. I'm afraid she'll knock over my water. Come on now.
Give her a gentle push back.
I am.
Go on, get back. Get back.
There you go.
Good dog.
Good girl. Sorry about that. And there's Indy Boy.
There he is. Hi, there
There
he
he
goes.
goes. You got 2, the Lab Brigade.
Yeah, Lulu says no, he doesn't get to come up here.
No, see, I'm here. Hello, you don't want to come over here either.
Hi, Indy.
Go see Dad.
Go on now. Let Indy over here.
Go see your person.
Indy, come. Come.
Lulu says no. He's going to come from the other side. That makes sense.
There he is. Hi, buddy. Yeah, look at the camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Howard is here. Howard Solomon. George, thanks for the endorsement and for playing Rattler.
Oh, you're welcome, Howard. Here is a song by Daniel and Richard Rising, sung by Brother Dan Rising, and it's called Better With You There. My friends down at the factory say I'm acting mighty strange. It's not that I look different, but somehow things have changed. They ask me how's the wife and kids. I say we're all doing great. But head hung low, I turn and just keep walking through the gate. 'Cause when I'd get home from work each night, you were always there to greet me. With so much love, my troubles seemed to fade and turn to smiles. You'd smother me with kisses, sitting in that big old chair. Life was so much better with you there. I'm trying to pass the time without you. Things just ain't the same. I stare at that old collar, remembering how I'd holler out your name. When I'd say, come here boy, let's go for a ride, you beat me to the car each time, with the windows down, wind blowing in your face. 'Cause when I'd get home from work last night, you were always there to greet me. With so much love, my troubles seemed to fade and turn to smile. You'd smother me with kisses, sitting in that big old chair. Life was so much better with you there. I know you had to leave, but it's so hard on me to go on without my best friend. 'Cause now when I get home from work each night, you're not there to greet me. Suddenly I'm troubled, it's hard for me to smile. Left with no more kisses, sitting alone in our old chair. Life was so much better with you there. Life was so much better. Back when I came home from work each night, you were always there to greet me. With all that love that made my troubles fade and turn to smile.
Dogs.
You'd smother me with kisses, sitting in that big old chair. Life was so much better with you there. Yeah, everything was better with you there.
Little interruption there. We have a comment from John, and I think his name is, well, it's Mecha Makori. He said, hello, good morning. Watching from Kenya. Please pray for my ministry here in Kenya. We really pass through many challenges like lack of food, shelter, and clothing for the children who are orphans here in Kenya.
Well, John, we'll certainly do that. And if anybody can help out, go to John's Facebook profile and do what you can.
We'll keep you in.
And it's great to have you join us today, John. I hope you enjoy the show, and
Yes.
all the best to those whom you shepherd.
Yes. And Bob Hale said, I'll send you a song I wrote about Sage with an extra verse about Reggie. Wow.
Wonderful. Yeah, do
Very
that.
good.
We'll play it on the show.
Our dogs are getting very busy over here,
Yeah.
just wanting to play.
You know?
The Indy instigated it. I have to figure out a way to use his name. And
Yeah. Well, he loves to play.
he does. He's
And,
such a puppy.
We call him Rocket Dog because when he gets
Yes.
to playing, he just dashes from one end of the house to the
Oh,
other.
he does. He's really...
Who's he playing with?
Sadie.
Sadie?
Yes, our Great Dane.
Who's usually on the bed.
Well, she's not now. She came over while you were playing.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
So they got to see the back of her head anyway.
That's the Sadie.
Yes.
All right. If they don't stop that here. pretty
I'm gonna
soon.
have to tell you.
You'll have to put her back up on the bed, and then if she does it again, she'll have to leave, or we'll have to crate Indy. Which
Well, yeah, and I don't know.
I would crate Indy.
Okay,
If hey y'all, knock it off.
Sadie, get up.
Sadie, get up there.
She says, "Well, I have a problem." There you go. Good girl, Sadie. Good dog. Get up. You can do it.
Sadie, get up there. All right.
I'm going to have to intercede.
Let's crate Indy.
Okay, I'll create him. Back in a minute.
Indy,
They're just going to
Indy, kennel in,
kennel in.
kennel in right now. Come on.
Good boy. Look at what a good boy.
Good dog. Should have given you a Crunchio.
Well, get his phone.
Now, yeah, and you know how to close that door?
Yes, I do, but I wanted to throw the bone in for him.
Yeah. Okay.
That's almost as good as a Crunchio, but probably not.
Probably not, no. They're the best dog treats in the world. They're only 2 calories apiece. So
You get up there. Good, good.
I can give him food rewards, which is how he was trained.
And everybody,
And it's a far superior way to train guide dogs. Now, I was dead set against it all my life, but at my age, this guide dog school still let me have a dog, so I threw all of that aside. Okay. This is a 50s rock and roll kind of song that was, I don't know who wrote it, but it was sung by Fabian, who was very popular for a few years and then kind of just faded away. It's called Hound Dog Man. Hound dog man, I want to be a hound dog man. I'm going to get me an old hound dog. I'm going to let him lead the way. I'm going to turn him loose and go hunting every day. That's the kind of life for me. There's one thing I want to be, and that's a hound dog man. Hound dog man, I want to be a hound dog man. I want to get up in the morning, oh yeah, with the rising sun. I'm going to stick right on that trail till the day is done. I think that I'm old enough, I'm young in years, but I'm mighty tough. Like a hound dog man, I want to be a hound dog man. I'm looking for a girl who'll be waiting when I come home. She's gonna meet me with a kiss. She's gonna be one pretty miss, and every time I go, she's gonna miss me more and more. She's gonna have a tear in her eye, that time's gonna pass so slow. That's the kind of life for me. Oh, there's one thing I wanna be, and that's a hound dog man. Hound dog man, I wanna be a hound dog man. And every time I go, she's gonna miss me more and more. She's gonna have a tear in her eye, the time's gonna pass so slow. That's the kind of life for me. There's one thing I wanna be, and that's a hound dog man. Hound dog man, I wanna be a hound dog man. Hound dog man, I wanna be a hound dog man. Hound dog man. Hound dog man.
Wow. And Libby said, I will be leaving you at 3:30. And do you plan to sing and play that song you sang at Song Circle about wishing you'd treat me as good as you treat your dog?
Matter of fact, I think it's next on the list.
Wow.
You're psychic. Let me see.
Yes, excellent timing there. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, my.
You have the power, Libby.
Whoa.
And I am working on that. I'm trying to find a key. The problem is it uses a circle of fifths of seventh chords. And you've got you've gone in for a lot of minors on your chromatic. I think I can make it work in G, and I'm starting to surface and do things that I promised to do before I got my dog. So that project is in process, and I will do my best to find a key that you can play this in. I played this a lot on my show. It's called, on our show actually, because without Lynn there wouldn't be a show. Well, I'm also very honest.
Yes, well, and you're necessary too.
That's right.
I mean, we must include you.
Gotta, and the dogs are here and everything. This is called the Dog's Song. She said, I'm tired of being treated like a dog. I'm out of here. When I heard those words, it really made me perk up my ears. I know she's been mistreated, but what she said is wrong. If he had treated her like a dog, she'd have never gone. Like roll around and play with her on the floor down in the den. Taking her for nice long walks, giving her a bath, and then dried her off, rubbed her tummy, scratched her behind her ears. Well, I'll bet you a bag of kennel ration that she'd still be here if he had only treated her like a dog. Happy ever after would have been their epilogue. She'd have never strayed away from home. She'd have wagged her tail and tagged along if he had only treated her like a dog. He calls me prince, treats me like a king. When it comes to her, I don't know why he can't do the same doggone thing. Like wash her dish and water bowl every night like he does mine. Compliment her, give her little treats from time to time. Let her out all on her own every now and then. Well, I'd have had me some stiff competition to be that man's best friend if he had only treated her like a dog. Happy ever after would have been their epilogue. She'd have never strayed away from home. She'd have wagged her tail and tagged along if he had only treated her like a dog. If he had only treated her like a dog. There you go, Libby.
There you go. Somebody's doing some thinking there about that.
Yeah.
My dog is licking her toes. And I wish she wouldn't do it.
Me too.
Sadie, I don't want to run you out. Quit licking. You quit.
Let's see here.
Good girl. Can't believe that worked.
See, here's a song that was written by Tom Conover, and I don't know who recorded it. It's called More Than a Dog. Wakes me every morning with a soft kiss on my cheek. Eats breakfast right beside me like she can hardly wait to go riding in the truck to go see what we can see. She don't care where we're going as long as it's with me. loves to go and hunt. Heck, she'll even kiss a fish. Swimming in the river is one of her favorite things. I don't ever have to beg her to go anywhere with me. She's waiting at the door soon as I pick up the keys. She's one in a million. She's my only girl. She never complains, even when it's wet and cold. And at the end of the day, she always makes me grin. She's more than a dog. She's my best friend. One day I turn out to be the man she thinks I am. If the truth be known, she's taught me everything that's worth a damn. She's my best friend. She's one in a million. She's my only girl. She never complains, even when it's wet and cold. And at the end of the day, she always makes me grin. She's more than a dog. She's my best friend. She's my best friend. My best friend.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Let's see.
Fiona Lee. My favorite yet, very relatable. My girls are my best friends, listening from Norfolk, UK. Thanks to Brenda and Bob Hale for the recommendation. Well,
Thank you, Fiona. Welcome to our home.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, indeed. And thanks for the like, too, by the way. Speaking of which, if you are joining us for the first time or whatever, and you just discovered us like Fiona did, leave us a comment. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let us get to know you. And, you know, we kind of see this as a visit to our virtual back porch.
Yes.
And, you know, a neighbor hears the music and comes up and says,
over,
"Hi,
yeah.
I'm Bill or Bonnie or whoever," and pull up a chair and sit
Pull
down
up a chair.
and enjoy
Yes.
some music. And so, Fiona, I'm glad you
welcome.
glad you decided to come and visit, and I appreciate Bob and Brenda's recommendation.
Yes, thank you.
And I appreciate your comment very much, and we hope you'll see us often.
Yes.
Someone is.
It's Sadie.
Looking.
She's gone back to it. I got her to quit for just a minute,
Well,
but she
I
needs
think you
to
should
quit
take
it.
her out because I don't.
Oh,
want
I will take her.
I don't want the
Okay.
blanket all wet.
And she's good at that. I'll be right back.
Well, she's a big dog with a big tongue, you know.
See.
That was the clock.
Okay. Well, I kind of need that thing so I bend down and get that hook back. There.
We lost track of time there for a minute.
You come with me, only don't knock the camera over. See, come. That's the girl. Come. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Good dog. We'll be back in a little bit.
This song was written by Arthur Willis and Clyde J. Red Foley, and he recorded it in 1954. It is probably the saddest dog song I've ever heard in my life, and I hope I can get through it because it's a great
I
song.
brought my Kleenex.
Yeah, gonna need it. When I was a lad, old Shep was a pup. O'er hills and meadows we'd stray. Just a boy and his dog, we were both full of fun. We grew up together that way. I remember the time at the old swimming hole when I would have drowned without doubt. But old Shep was right there. To the rescue he came. He jumped in and helped pull me out. So the years sped along, and at last he grew old. His eyesight was fast growing dim. Then one day the doctor looked at me and said, I can't do no more for him, Jim. With a hand that was trembling, I picked up my gun. I aimed it at Shep's faithful head. I just couldn't do it. I wanted to run, and I wish they would shoot me instead. I went to his... Wait a minute, I lost my place. I went to his side, and I sat on the ground. He laid his head on my knee. I stroked the best pal a man ever found. I cried so I scarcely could see. Old Sheppy, he knew he was going to go, for he reached out and licked at my hand. He looked up at me just as much as to say, we're parting, but you understand. Now old Shep is gone where the good doggies go, and no more with old Shep I will roam. But if dogs have a heaven, there's one thing I know, old Shep has a wonderful home.
Oh my. Hold on, I got a couple comments here.
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. See. Fiona had said my favorite yet, very relatable. I think I read that, listening
you
from
did.
Norfolk. And then
Yeah.
Terry Linder, that's so very cool, great friends share. And then Bob said, glad to have you tuned in, Fiona. And
That's Norfolk, by the way,
Norfolk?
not Norfolk.
did I say, I said Norfolk, but I didn't say it.
yeah.
Did I
Anyway,
sorry.
sorry.
And Fiona said, very much enjoying the show. And Bob said, hope Reggie and the pups are enjoying the music too. And Fiona says, all 7 of my loves are tuned in with me.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness. That's great.
This is a good show too for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's a song that was, it's a parody. It was written by Jethro Burns and sung by Homer and Jethro. I'm going to do a whole show of their stuff, I think, if I can find
that'd be
enough of it
good.
that's not dated. This is a
Homer and
parody of a song that was popular in the 50s. I cannot remember the lady's name who sang it. Um, and it's called "How Much Is That Hound Dog in the Winder," as opposed to "How Much Is That
Doggy.
Doggy in the Window."
Yes.
I played this so often that I don't remember the original. How much is that hound dog in the winder? I do hope that flea bag's for sale. How much is that hound dog in the winder? The one with the long mangy tail. I'll give you 2 bits for that hound dog, the one with the sad aching heart. For he looks so much like my girlfriend, I can't hardly tell them apart. I must... Oh. Worked in practice. I must take a trip to Louisiana, leave her and that hound dog alone, while I'm eating shrimp and jambalaya. They'll be home and gnawing a bone. I don't want a monkey or a baboon. I don't want an old muley cow. I don't want a crappie or a catfish. A catfish could never meow. How much is that hound dog in the winder, with a basketball nose on his face? You know what a basketball nose is. It dribbles all over the place.
Wow. Bay Allen has...
Hello,
stopped
Bay.
by. Sounding good, George.
Great to see you. Hope things
Welcome,
are going good up your way.
Yes.
And hope to see you again next year at MLAG.
Yes. Bay put a smile face.
Yeah, that's a funny song. I
Can't wait, he said.
Yeah, me either. I am really looking forward to it. Last year, I won a grant that is administered through MLAG to record a CD. And eligible applicants are folks who play the auto harp, who are going to make the CD of auto harp music and have never recorded before. And I was told to apply for it. I wasn't asked if I would. I was told to apply for it by a person who shall remain nameless. And so I did. I figured, well, I'll get practice for applying for it, and I'll get it sometime. And I won the thing. It just absolutely blew my mind. And that's the CD that this show is kind of about. It's called Forever Friends, and it contains 14 tracks about dogs. And it's set up in an order where it tells a story. It starts out with the happy day when we go pick out a puppy at the pound, to the heartbreaking day when we have to say goodbye to our old faithful friend. It costs $20 American, and you can find it and learn all about it at autoharpdownhome.com. You can pay for it with a credit card, or you can pay for it through the donations link. But if you'd pay that way, it's a PayPal transaction. Don't forget to put your address in the note there for
right.
why you're giving me the money, because otherwise it's going to be hard to ship the
Hard
CD.
to ship it, yes.
But I'm not keeping any of the money. I'm not going to make a cent off of this. All of the proceeds meaning the $20 price less however much it costs to ship it, all of that money is going to go to support my guide dog school, Southeastern Guide. Hey, Indy, no, I hear that too.
Yeah, there's some racket outside.
Yeah, they're building something across the street over
No,
there.
it's back behind us. They're rebuilding where they burned down that thing.
Well, there's also something going on across the street because I was out there and listening to it.
Over there. Well, everybody's busy today.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, all of the money that we get is going to go to support Southeastern Guide Dogs. And I'm proud to say that sales have been brisk enough that if you want one and you don't have one, you probably ought to get one. I'm proud to say that we've raised over $3,400 for the school so far. Oh, the mail's running. That's interesting. And we are still, selling a few every week. So they make great Christmas gifts, by the way. If you know somebody who's still got a CD player, this would be a gift that keeps on giving. Mm-hmm. Tell your friends about it. autoharpdownhome.com. We'd really appreciate it if you would pick up a copy or two, or 3 or 4.
You'll enjoy it. You really will.
Yeah, you will. This is called Maggie's Song. I don't know who wrote it. It was recorded by Chris Stapleton. Let me tell you a story about an old friend of mine. Somebody left her in a shopping cart in a parking lot for us to find. Just a black fuzzy pup. She was hungry and feeling alone. We put her in the back seat, told her we were taking her home. Run, Maggie, run, with the heart of a rebel child. Oh, run, Maggie, run, be just as free as you are wild. A few kids later, we moved out on the farm. She followed those kids around, yeah, she kept them safe from harm. And she loved to chase squirrels and playing out in the snow. She took off like a bullet, man, you should have seen her go. Run, Maggie, run, with the heart of a rebel child. Oh, run, Maggie, run, be just as free as you are wild. It was raining on a Monday, the day that Maggie died. She woke up and couldn't use her legs, so I lay down by her side. She put her head on my hand, like she'd done so many times. I told her she was a good dog, then I told her goodbye. Run, Maggie, run, with the heart of a rebel child. Oh, run, Maggie, run, be just as free as you are wild. Had a revelation when the tractor dug a hole. I can tell you right now, the dog has a soul, And I thought to myself, as we buried her on the hill, I never knew me a better dog, and I guess I never will. Run, Maggie, run, with the heart of a rebel child. Oh, run, Maggie, run, be just as free as you are wild. Run, Maggie, run, with the heart of a rebel child. Oh, run, Maggie, run, be just as free as you are wild.
I think that one got to me, George. Let's see what we got here. I got a few comments. Pam Kennedy. Good afternoon, George.
Hey, Pam.
And Jerry Burgess Jr. is here.
Hey, Jerry.
Good evening. My friend's glad I made it. And then Bob said Forever Friends is one of our favorite CDs.
Thank you, Bob.
He said, oh, and then Bay Allen said, I don't think anyone loves dogs more than you do, George. It's great the way you support the guide dog school. You're a blessing.
Thank you, Bay.
Yes, and then Pam said, you sound good, George.
I hope Ruby's doing good.
Yes,
We'll
we
have to get
think
together
about
and
you.
talk. I've thought about her a lot, and I know I've read some of your posts that say you know you're still traveling with her. So
Well, good.
all our best wishes are go out to you and Ruby. That's for sure. Yeah, Bay, I can't imagine life without a dog. My earliest memory is laying on our living room carpet with my head on the side of a boxer named Cindy. Indy is my 8th guide dog, and other than a little bit of time, you know, while I was waiting on a new dog, I've worked guide dogs for 51 years.
Yep.
As of August. When I get too old to work a guide dog, I'll probably never leave the house. So yeah, you got me pegged for sure. All right, we got to lighten up a little bit.
Ah, yes.
I'm trying not to do too many sad songs in a row here. For one thing, it's not my thing. What's the matter?
Oh, I turned it after the clock fell. I never did get it where I could see it again. It's
Oh.
14 according to that clock. I just needed to know what time it is.
Yeah, well, you know, folks, if you got to drop out at the top of the
Yeah.
hour, that's fine.
We understand. We got a late start.
We did. We got a
It wasn't real late. It was a few minutes, but still.
All right. And then we've gotten a lot of great comments too,
Yes, we
which
have.
means that
So
and
good.
we really appreciate every single one of them. Here's a song that was written and recorded by Jim Dyme, D-Y-M-E, and it's called the Coon Dog Song. I've played this a couple times too. Old Newton McGraw had the meanest wife you ever saw. She made that poor old Newton toe the line, till he knowed he had to find some good excuse to get away now and then or lose his mind. Well, he finally hit upon his big idea. He went out and bought a pack of good coon hounds. Whenever that old woman started getting on his nerves, he'd go out hunting coon all night long. One night somewhere way out in the backwoods, he found the cabin of that lonely Widow Jones. Nudie tried to fight her off best he could. Yeah, I'll bet. Her sweet perfume just made spaghetti of his bones. Now when Nudie got back home in the morning, his old woman was as hot as she could be. She said, "Ain't that perfume? I smell all over you." He said, "No, dear, it's just that new potion I put on the dogs to kill their fleas."
Right.
Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume. The same kind that you'd find on Witter Jones. Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume. Those fleas laugh so hard they just fall off on the ground. Now old Nudie goes a-hunting more and more. Them dogs of his, they're looking mighty poor. They're ashamed to tree a coon wearing all that cheap perfume. But Nudie don't care what they don't catch anymore. Today Nudie's wife passed the Witter Jones at the corner store. One whiff of that perfume about made her sneeze. Didn't take too long for her to put two and two together. She figured out the Witter Jones must have fleas. Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume. The same kind that you'd find on Witter Jones. Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume. Those fleas laugh so hard they just fall out on the ground. And that's why all Nudie's coonhounds wear Chanel number K9 perfume.
Oh, that's good.
Here's I hope I can be a pale imitation of this. Here's a song that was written by the master, Brian Bowers, the best auto harp player extant right now. I hope I'm going to get to meet him next spring at MLAG if his health holds up long enough. This song is called Dog. The whole thing started because it looked like fun. Other people had a dog. I'm going to get one, I said. Have a little friend around the place. So I went to the pet store down the street, and lying in the middle of a canine heap was a sleepy little puppy with a quiet sort of a face. The next few weeks were certainly strange. Between the barking and thinking up names, old Bluey wasn't, and Spot didn't really apply. So I settled for Harry, just because that's how he is, and that's how he was, and that's how the house gets more and more as days go by. For a time I was careful where I sat. The rug got funky and he chewed up my hat, and it still happens once in a while when he gets mad. But it's been pretty even, after all. I taught him all I know about playing ball, and he helped me get rid of a lot of things I used to have. Sometimes friends drop by for a couple of beers. We all sit around taking turns rubbing his ears and calling him. It's been that way ever since he was a pup. And he sleeps on the bed, and when I turn over, he turns over, then I turn over, then he turns over, I turn over, and we get up. As my life keeps moving through the different conditions, the big changes come with the slightest decisions. You're in for a surprise when you got it figured, I found. 'Cause whoever thought I'd dote on a pet? But looking back now, I almost forget how I filled up my time before my dog was around.
What a neat song.
Yeah.
They said, love this song.
Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah. Let's see here.
Unless he said live this song. I'm not sure which he meant. He wrote live. I thought he meant love, so I said love, but he could have meant live, as in he lives this song.
I think
Not,
that
I think he meant
will
we kind of
be yeah, we kind of do, except we don't have
They said
funky
love.
rugs. Oh,
Sorry
that's
about
what I
that.
thought. We don't have funky rugs, and our dogs don't chew things up.
No, thank goodness.
Because I am proud to say that I'm very fluent. I speak very fluent.
Fluent dog, yes.
And
I've picked up a little
I-
myself, but not like he does.
Well, yeah, but you're still better than 98% of the dog owners I know. And we've taken a quantum leap forward thanks to Southeastern Guide Dogs, because I'm starting to use some of their techniques on my other dogs. And man, if I had known about this stuff when I trained Lulu, God, she'd have been a genius. Anyway, where are we here? Oh, I know.
Well, that was a good song, though. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. Harley Allen and Scott Hemrick wrote this. It's done by one of my favorite kind of offbeat country singers. His name's Billy Currington. I do that song about the two old boys that get to talking at the bar, and the one turns out to be a millionaire and gives the narrator all his money.
Oh, yeah.
People are crazy. That's
right.
But anyway, this one is called "I Want You to Love Me Like My Dog Does." Okay, let me find the right. He never tells me that he's sick of this house. He never says, why don't you get off that couch? He don't cost me nothing when I want to go out. Want you to love me like my dog. He never says I need a new attitude. Him and my sister ain't always in a feud. When I leave the seat up, he don't think that's rude. I want you to love me like my dog does, baby. When I come home, want you to just go crazy. He never looks at me like he might hate me. I want you to love me like my dog. He never acts like he don't care for my friends. He never asks me where in hell have you been. He don't play dead when I won't pet him. I want you to love me like my dog does, honey. He never says I wish you made more money. He always thinks that pull my fingers funny. I want you to love me like my dog. He don't get mad at me and throw a major fit when I say his sister is a bitch. I want you to love me like my dog does, baby. When I come home, want you to just go crazy. He never looks at me like he might hate me. I want you to love me like my dog. I want you to love me like my dog does, baby.
Yeah. Terry Linder said, yeah, hey, get up. As in, be up.
That's right.
And laughing, crying faces and care face and more puppy paw prints.
Yeah, I like those.
I do too.
All puppy paw prints are greatly appreciated, Terry.
Yes.
This is a song whose authorship is a mystery to me. was recorded by Chevelle Shepherd. They call me, it's called They Call Me Good Boy. They call me good boy. I never bark or howl. They call me good boy. At least they used to anyhow. I once had a best friend, a place to call home. All the love I could dream for, I was next on a bone. These days I'm scolded, each face a scowl. They call me good boy, at least they used to anyhow. Me and my family went on the nature trail, running and a-panting and wagging my tail. It was like a dream there, till the big cat came along. They called him Mountain Lion. That's when everything went wrong. They call me good boy. I never bark or howl. I come when I'm called for. I can shake and I can bow. I know I'm a good boy. You'll never hear me growl. They call me good boy, at least they used to anyhow. I stepped to that cougar, time I'll act tough until it's torn to pieces, and enough was enough. My family got away, and I'm thankful for that, but I ain't seen them since then, thanks to that damned old cat. They call me good boy. I never bark or howl. I come when I'm called for. I can shake and I can bow. I know I'm a good boy. You'll never hear me growl. They call me good boy, at least they used to anyhow. I heard there's a place where all dogs will go, reunite with their loved ones, and 1,000,000 miles to roam. I'm growing weary, I'll lay my head down. They call me good boy, at least they used to anyhow. They call me good boy, and they will again now.
Wow. Terry Linder said, "This is a great Saturday. Here
Well,
for the
thank you, Terry.
dogs.
Yeah, you
and
betcha.
Puppy footprints and 2 care faces, a rainbow, my Cassie, another rainbow, and then 422. So
Wow.
lost somebody in 422.
I'm
That's
sorry
why
to
the
hear
rainbow
that.
on either side, I think.
Yeah,
of
I'm
my
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. We know what that's like.
Yeah.
Some of our
Okay.
best friends, our fur friends.
Yes. They're not much for conversation, but they're
Well,
they're really great for
They're great
loyalty.
listeners, aren't they?
And they're great listeners. And
Terry said, "Yes, my pup. She was 18. A great friend."
wow, that's a
That's a
long
long
time.
time.
We've got a 14-year-old Australian Shepherd
Yeah.
female. And we thought we were going to lose her earlier in the year. She stopped eating and she got a hot spot on her
It got
back that we
infected.
couldn't clean up. It got infected and everything. And we pulled her back from the edge and we put her on the same kind of dog food that I was feeding Lulu.
Yeah.
For Health Senior Mature Formula, I think it's called. We get it at a place called Tractor Supply. They're all over the place. And all of our pets are on it now. And Indy is fed another food that is supplied by the school. So
Terry said, "Really, George, I'm sure she was chatting back with two laughing, crying faces."
yeah,
And Bay Allen said, "Lulu was great. Can't wait to meet Indy."
yeah, he's even better.
He's
I will be able to teach him things that Lulu never could, that I never even tried to teach Lulu. For example, I will probably be able, after a little bit of work, be able to go in the front door of the dorm and tell him to find our room, and I won't need to tell him to make any turns or anything. He'll take me to it. I can probably teach him to take me to the dorm, the cafeteria, and the concert hall. Once we do it a couple of times. Lulu that was her last trip anywhere, and I really shouldn't have taken her, I suppose, but I just couldn't deal with being in all that strange surroundings without her. Okay, let's see here. All right, we got to cheer back up here. This is a song that was written and recorded by a duet called Pinkert and Bowden. And they do parodies, and they also do some originals. This one's called Don't Pet the Dog. Let's see, what key am I wanting? Okay. I'd much rather have a frog in my throat than a porcupine stuck to my face. I'd much rather have a bug in my ear than a dog making love to my leg. Girl asks you home to meet mommy and daddy. She says that she thinks you're nice, but there's trouble ahead, and you'll wish you were dead if you don't take this friendly advice. Don't pet the dog. Don't pet him whatever you do, 'cause he ain't been fixed, and he knows some tricks that'll sure make a fool out of you. Don't pet the dog. He gets it confused with romance. Just leave him alone, or the next thing you know, he'll be asking your ankle to dance. You say it's okay, try to push him away. What's his name? Does he sit up and beg? You try to be cool, but you look like a fool with a dog making love to your leg. Don't pet the dog. He'll boo-boo all over your shoes, 'cause he ain't been fixed, and he knows some tricks that'll sure make a fool out of you. Don't pet the dog. He gets it confused with romance. Just leave him alone, or the next thing you know, he'll be asking your ankle to dance. Don't pet the dog.
Excuse me, Bay Island put a laughing, crying face up there. Laughing so hard to crying. Oh, that's bad. I have a leg cramp. That's most painful.
Indeed.
And I can't undo in order to. Might have to get up and walk around there.
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, folks. Did you ever get one of those right behind your knee? Oh.
As we get older, you know.
Let me rub that out a second. And there. Sorry, guys. Too much walking around lately. Oh.
I listened to that. I sing that song and I listened to it. And the first time I listened to it, I thought, that wouldn't happen to me. We were all together for Lynn's grandmother's 100th birthday. And her folks had these two pet shop puppies that were advertised as Labrador Retrievers, and they had some of that in them, but some other dog dropped the wrong side of the blanket there, and her parents really had only owned I think her father had a dog when he was a kid, but they had not owned but one dog that was just totally out of control. And so
we did not know what we were doing.
And so were these other dogs. And her mom let them out, and they were just driving all the birthday guests nuts.
Well, the one was. I don't think the other was.
Yeah, she was too. Because I wound up with both of them.
Did you?
And I had a German Shepherd, actually a Belgian Shepherd guide dog at the time. And I got Lynn to bring me each dog. And I put the calmest of the two on one end of my guide dog's leash because there's a snap on each end of it. And I put my guide dog on the other end. And then I put a leash on the one that was causing all the trouble. And I said, we're all going to stay right here like good dogs. And we're going to settle down. No, you're not going to lick my hands, and you're not going to jump, and you're not going to do these things. And I know pressure points on a dog. I can touch a dog and make it sit without saying anything. And I can touch a dog somewhere else and make it lie down, which was a new concept of it. So I spent most of the afternoon with these dogs, and I don't know how many compliments I got because they were ruining the whole day. So I firmly believe that the little amorous little dog and I would have come to an understanding.
Well, that's... I saw one that I missed on that they said, "Can Indy bark when you're out of tune?"
No, he barks when he hears things sometimes, but he's doing a lot less of that.
I think he was playing.
Yeah, I know it. I know he was. Yeah, that'd help. I have actually now, just for all you AutoHeart players out there, I got an iPhone, and there's a talking tuner app for the iPhone. So I was using a frequency generator and trying to tune to that and get the beats out of it and everything. But this thing will tune down to like 2 cents.
Wow.
2 1/100ths of a half step. I love it. And then after that, I found a GPS app for the blind. So I've got places marked so that I can go to them and not have to remember, all the turns and stuff. It's a great gadget. Anyway, I don't know who wrote this. It was sung by a guy named Fred Eaglesmith, and it's called I Shot Your Dog. Well, hello, neighbor. I've been meaning to talk to you. I've been putting it off. It's something I gotta do. I've been living with a secret. It's been keeping me awake. There's just something I gotta say. I shot your dog. He was on my property. I thought he was a coyote on the run. I've been missing some chickens, so I pulled the trigger. I feel so bad about what I've done. You don't have to say nothing. I can tell how you feel. I feel the same. If it was me, I'm awful sorry. If I could make it up to you in any way, tell me what to do. I shot your dog. He was on my property. I thought he was a coyote on the run. I've been missing some chickens, so I pulled the trigger. Feel so bad about what I've done. Got an old coon hound. If it'll make you feel better, she's coming in next week. You get the pick of the litter. I shot your dog. He was on my property. I thought he was a coyote on the run. I've been missing some chickens, so I pulled the trigger. Feel so bad about what I've done. Feel so bad about what I've done.
Goodness. He must have, because he wrote a song.
Yeah, he felt so bad he
He wrote a song.
wrote a song.
Libby said, enjoyed your show today. Hope you will be able to join Song Circle tonight.
I plan to be there, and I've got a couple of really good songs lined up. So, provided we don't lose power or we don't lose the internet again, which is why we were late to begin with, I will be there. And enjoy your visit with your friend.
Yes.
Here's a song about an angry man who's just been pushed that little bit too far. And it's called Bring Back My Dog. Take the SUV, the PC, the TV, the DVD, and the VCR. Take the power tools, the stereo too, and every last credit card. I don't care how much of my paycheck you take. Let me see what I did wrong. I don't care how much of my paycheck you take or how often you might sue. Clean out the accounts, take the stocks in my 401k too. Take all my clothes, my four-wheel drive, and take all the food. Go hire yourself a whole herd of lawyers and do what you gotta do. Take the house and all my guitars, my drums and my CDs. But I'll say it clear so I'm sure you'll hear. You better not give my dog, please bring back my dog. She's my best friend. We stuck together through it all, and we'll do so until the end. Bring back my dog. You better heed my warning, or I'll get some relief when I lose the belief that a true gentleman will never mistreat a woman. I'm sure that I could find another gal to give my heart to. And I'll guarantee I'll find me one that acts nothing like you. But I could search this whole wide world over with a fine-tooth comb. I could never find a dog like her to bring back home. Bring back my dog. She's my best friend. We stuck together through it all and will until the end. Bring back my dog. You better heed my warning, or I'll get some relief when I lose the belief that a true gentleman will never mistreat a woman. Bring back my dog right now. She's my best friend. I love to see her slide across the grass, scratching her rear end. Bring back my dog. You better heed my warning. You ain't causing me no more grief. You better turn over a new leaf, or I'll snap in a heartbeat. And next time I won't be so sweet, and I will get some relief on somebody's front teeth when I lose the belief that a true gentleman will never mistreat a woman.
Yes. Terry said, "Thank you both. Great day. I must start driving. Love today. Wonderful." And then,
thank you, Terry. Be careful out there. Drive
Yes.
safely and enjoy when you get to your destination. And thanks a lot for visiting with us.
Yes.
All right. Earlier, we learned about Old Rattler. Here's another song by Grandpa Jones called Old Rattler's Son. Let's try this again. Old Rattler's son is like his pap. He sure likes to eat. He eats 9 biscuits at one bite, besides a ham of meat. Old Rattler's son is on the run. Our chase has just begun. I can tell by the yell as clear as a bell. He must be Old Rattler's son. I went to see my gal last night. The dog snuck on behind. He chased her cat up a white oak sprout, and now she won't be mine. Old Rattler's son is on the run. Our chase has just begun. I can tell by his yell, it's clear as a bell. He must be Rattler's son. Old Rattler's son is a mighty dog. He's just like his paw. Killed 18 possums last Saturday night to exercise his jaw. Old Rattler's son is on the run. Our chase has just begun. I can tell by his yell, he's clear as a bell. He must be Rattler's son. A good coon dog's gotta have a big mouth. A sign will agree. I got in an argument with a man how Rattler's son could treat. His mouth too small, the old man said. I think his name was Merle. Well, a monkey wrench goes with him, and I've got him set for a squirrel. Old Rattler's son is on the run. Our chase has just begun. I can tell by his yell, he's clear as a bell. He must be Rattler's son. Rattler's son can eat a lot. His appetite's immense. He ate three 7-Up new. He ate 3 set-up new laid eggs, and he ain't been heard of since. rattling sun is on the run. Oh, the rattling sun is on the run. Our chase has just begun. I can tell by his yells, clear the bell, he must be rattling sun. That one was kind of ragged. I had to add that at the last minute because I had a song by Neil Young called Old King, and I realized it wasn't auto-harpable at all.
That's a problem.
And I realized it like 2 days ago. So that
that
one
was good for
that
2
one
days.
was laid
working
on
it
at
up
the very
for-
last minute,
well,
and I
wow.
had never even played it before ever. So
It is 2:52.
That's
I
all
think
the
you
excuse-
wanted to let me know.
okay,
Or let you know, not me. I know. You wanted me to let you know. Oh,
all right. We're gonna be real close. We have just a couple songs left, so it's actually going to work out. We'd have been early otherwise.
yeah.
This is written and recorded by Brendan John Vianney, and it's called When You Come Home, a song written by your dog. Well, I know that we share something, and I know it's something true, so I will follow you wherever you may think you'll go, and I'll go along with you. Take the lead, I'm right behind you. I don't really want to be anywhere else, and I'm left wondering, where do you go when you go out that door? You're gone for oh so long, but I will wait. Just as long as it may take, I'll be here when you come home, and I will make all your troubles go away, because I love you, and I don't want to see you go. I hear that other voice inside you, one that always knows to be the best you can, but it's alright. I know sometimes you forget it's there, but I know that you still care. All the time we spend together is so beautiful. Sometime soon you will come home, and we'll play forevermore. Till then I'll wait, just as long as it may take. I'll be here when you come home, and I will make all your troubles go away, because I love you, and I don't want to see you go. All I see is your eyes connect with mine, and it means the world to me to make you smile for just a while. I will wait, just as long as it may take, and I'll be here when you come home, and I will make all your troubles go away, because I love you, I don't want to see you go. I will wait, oh, just as long as it may take. I'll be here when you come home, and I will make all your troubles go away, because I love you, and I don't want to see you go. That we share something, and I know it's something true, so so I will follow you wherever you may think you will go. I'll go along with you.
Wow. We have Victoria Shepard who said clever dog, but that came up, I think, after, as you were starting. And Fiona Lee said beautiful song, love it, with a heart.
Hello, Victoria.
Yes,
Welcome.
welcome.
Thank you, Fiona.
Some of these dogs are clever.
Yeah, they are.
Clever.
Some of them are. Some of them are loyal. Some of them,
yes.
you're going to learn here in the next couple, are none of those things. This is called Song for My Dog, and it was performed by Leslie Mosier on a mandolin.
Whoa.
Okay, so let's see if I can come close to what Leslie did here. I've always dreamed of having a friend who loves me like you do. You wake up happy every morning and take away my blues. We could spend a day in bed or explore the 7 seas. But I don't care what we do, darling, as long as you're with me. This is a song for my dog. Wish you could be singing along. This goes out to my best friend, 'cause life without you would feel so wrong. You wait all day for me to come home, sitting by the door. For you it's been like 1,000 hours, I swear it's only 4. I wish that we could have a conversation from time to time. It'd be so nice to hear your voice and see what's on your mind. This is a song for my dog. Wish you could be singing along. This goes out to my best friend, 'cause life without you would feel so wrong. And when there's a day you must run across the rainbows, just sit and wait for me. Just sit and wait for me.
Bob Hale, thank you, George and Lynn, for an entertaining show. We'll be in touch with you on Facebook soon.
Okay, Bob, Brenda.
So glad you guys came by.
Have a great rest of the afternoon and evening. I'm so glad you came by. The final song is coming up, and we're going to end it on a happy note here.
Okay. I like that last song, though.
Yeah,
That was good.
That was good. This is called Captain's Song. Don't know who wrote it. And it's a duet that performs it, and they're called Mustard's Retreat. And they've got some of the most interesting music I've ever heard. It's very different, and I may be doing more of it here, but here is Captain's Song. Listen here, people, I'll sing you a song. I'll tell you a story about my old dog. He rumbles and he fumbles and he can't catch a squirrel, but he lays on the porch like he's king of the world. When I take the bicycle out for a ride, he runs right along in the street by my side. He ain't scared of dying 'cause he's hairy and free, and he wears a bandana round his neck just like me. Captain, yippee-i-oh, Captain, I know you're my friend and my brother, and your tale tells me so. Well, now you play in the traffic and you pee on the wall, but Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all. Now he can't go a-roaming by day in this town. The cops know his name and they chase him on down. He's 9 times been busted, and this is what they said: if they catch him again, they're gonna bust me instead. So he stays in my room while I'm working all day. But along about sundown he goes out to play. He's big and he's burly, and he can't hurt a flea. That's why I occasionally find one on me. Yippee-i-oh, Captain, I know you're my friend and my brother, and your tale tells me so. Well, now you play in the traffic and you pee on the wall, but Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all. When I leave and the notion gets into his head to roll back my blanket and sleep on my bed, I got sand in my pillows, I got birds in my ass. It's a bum's rush of a welcome to the great lower class. One day my lady comes mad to my door. She said she's got bugs and she gives me what for. I said, now I know why you jump like a frog. You ain't got the crabs, it's just fleas from my dog. Yippee-i-oh, Captain, I know you're my friend and my brother, and your tale tells me so. Well, now you play in the traffic and you pee on the wall, but Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all. Yippee-i-oh, Captain, I know you're my friend and my brother, and your tale tells me so. Well, now you play in the traffic and you pee on the wall, but Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all. Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all.
Ziggy, Harp Dust. Many thanks, George and Lynn, for a great concert.
You're so welcome, Ziggy.
And he see you again in about 3.5 hours. With
Indeed.
a smile.
Get a little sleep.
Yeah, well, it's been.
Yeah, because it's late where Ziggy is. It's like 10 o'clock.
Fiona said, wonderful to be able to virtually join you both. Thanks for a pleasant and entertaining evening. Me and my dogs loved it.
Well,
you're so welcome.
that's so nice of
glad
you,
to have
Fiona.
you.
And by all means, stop by.
Please do.
We do this on the second and fourth Saturdays of every month
At this time.
at this time. So even if you don't get an invitation, you should because you liked Auto Harp Down Home. So when I posted an invitation, it should show up in your news feed. But second and fourth Saturdays, this time of day, or evening in your case, if you can, we'd really appreciate it if you could put a few bucks in our virtual tip jar at autoharp.down.home@gmail.com, or click the donate link on autoharpdownhome.com to help me defray transportation expenses to and from MLAG.
Yes.
I'm going to, they're going to give me room and board and all of that because I'm performing concerts and doing workshops there, but I have to cover my own transportation. So if you've got a buck or two in these hard times that you'd like to donate, we'd sure appreciate it.
Grateful to you.
And
Thank you.
we wanted to wish everybody all the best until the next time we see you, which hopefully will be in a couple of weeks. I don't know about anybody else, but I had a great time today.
Oh, I did too.
And I would like to leave you with
Fiona said, will do, thank you, smiley
Good.
face, and puppy paws.
All right,
So
Fiona,
I just
great.
wanted to add that for
anybody else?
No,
All
I
right.
think that's
At this
it
point,
now.
we are going to leave you with a quote from the singing cowboy Roy Rogers. Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to George and all his kin. We'd sure like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back real soon to this locality to have a heaping helping of our hospitality. Down home style, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now here.